We will be looking at issue of debentures. Now, what are debentures? Debentures are acknowledgement of debt by a joint stock company. When a joint stock company requires capital for a particular period of time, maybe for 6 years, 7 years, for various purposes like expansion, installation of a plant, they issue debentures. Debentures carry a fixed rate of interest. So the person who is buying a debenture, he gets that fixed rate of interest. And a debenture is for a particular period of time. Maybe it may be, let us say, 5 years debenture. So for 5 years, the debenture holder will be getting the fixed rate of interest, and at the end of 5 years, he will be returned back the money which he has paid to buy a debenture. For example, say a company issues 11% debentures of rupees 100 each for a period of 7 years. So if you want to buy a debenture, you will pay 100 rupees to the company. And at the end of the year, you will be getting 11% of 100, that is 11 rupees as interest. This you will go on getting for the entire 7 years. And at the end of 7 years, that 100 rupees which you have paid to buy a debenture will be returned back to you. Now, a synonymous term that is used with debentures is bonds. But bonds are a little bit different from debentures. On debentures, the rate of interest is predetermined and it is written on the debenture certificate. So the debenture holder gets that predetermined rate of interest. Whereas in the case of bonds, no predetermined rate of interest is mentioned, but it is issued at a discounted price. For example, in deep discount bonds, say our bond is of 100 rupees, but it is issued at rupees 86. And when the time period is over, then the bond holder gets back 100 rupees. So the difference between the issue price and the redemption value, that is the money that is repaid back by the company, that is the interest that the holder of the bond gets. So in this case, the issue price was 86 and the money that was returned back by the company was 100. So 14 rupees was the interest that was given by the company over the period of the bond. Now let us look at the accounting entries which are passed in the books of the joint stock company when debentures are issued. So the entries are similar to that of issue of shares, but there are only two differences or 2 points which are to be noted down. One is the rate of interest is prefixed when we write the journal entry, and here capital word is not used. We do not write capital. For example, when in the case of issue of shares, we write share capital, but in the case of issue of debentures, we simply write debentures account. Capital is not written. So the journal entries are like first entry will be for application, bank account debit to 7% debenture application account. Here I have taken the rate of interest to be 7%. It can be any percent. Then 7% debenture application account debit to 7% debentures account to bank account. That means if money is refunded, if it is oversubscribed and some people are not allotted debentures, so their application money will be refunded, that will be to bank. And to 7% debenture allotment account, that is the excess application money which is transferred to the allotment. Here also, this excess money which is transferred to allotment, this happens in the case of pro rata allotment. So when there is oversubscription and pro rata allotment is being done, then the excess application money is returned back if it is transferred to debenture allotment account. Next is when the allotment money becomes due. 7% debenture allotment account debit to 7% debentures account with the allotment amount due. Then when the company receives the allotment money, then bank account debit to 7% debentures allotment account. Again here also we may have call scenarios. Here I have not written call scenarios, but call scenarios may be there. So bank account will be debited with the actual amount received. Then call scenarios account will be debited with money not received. Then comes first call. 7% debenture first call account debit to 7% debentures account when the first call money becomes due. Then bank account debit to 7% debentures first call account with the actual amount received. Here also we may have call scenarios. Then you have your another. So these are the type of entries that we have. So the entries are similar to that of issue of shares. Now let us look at a question and see the entries. For example, debentures may be issued at a premium also. For example, 100 rupees debenture may be issued at a 10% premium or 5% premium. So in that case, the premium money that is taken, that is always credited to securities premium reserve account. So let us look at a question where debentures are issued at a premium. So issue of debentures at a premium. X Limited issued 1009% debentures of rupees 100 each at a premium of 10%, payable as follows: rupees 30 on application, rupees 40 on allotment including premium. So premium was rupees 10, 10% of 100 rupees, that is 10 rupees. So that premium money is received with allotment. So in that 40 rupees which we are going to get on allotment, 10 rupees will be for premium and rupees 40 on first and final call. So total if you add up, it comes to 110. Now let us look at the journal entries. How many debentures were issued? 1000. So first entry will be bank account debit 30 into 1000, 30,000 to 9% debentures application account 30,000. Here I have assumed that the number of shares issued by the company 1000 is equal to the number of shares applied for by the debentures is applied for by the company. Okay. So bank account debit, it will be 1000 into 30, 30,000 to 9% debentures application account 30,000. Then 9% debentures application account debit 30,000 to 9% debentures account 30,000. So you see, I am writing the rate of interest and I am not writing capital. Simply I am writing to 9% debentures account. Then comes allotment. Allotment, how much was receivable? 40, out of which 10 rupees is for premium. So the entry will be 9% debentures allotment account debit 1000 into 40, 40,000 amount receivable to 9% debentures account 1000 into 30, that is 30,000 to securities premium reserve 1000 into 10, 10,000. Then bank account debit 40,000 to 9% debentures allotment account 40,000. Here also I am assuming that everybody is paid. Then comes first and final call. First and final call is again 40 rupees. So 9% debentures first and final call account debit 1000 into 40, 40,000 to 9% debentures account 40,000. Amount receivable is 40,000 and bank account debit 40,000. If we assume that everybody pays, all money is received, to 9% debentures first and final call account 40,000. So you see over here in this question, the premium was receivable with allotment. 10 rupees premium was receivable with allotment. But even the question, it is not mentioned where the premium is receivable, we will always assume that it is receivable with allotment. So if it is not mentioned, we will assume that it is received with allotment. But it can be received with application also. It can be received with allotment also. It can be received with first call also. It can be received with final call also. Or a part of it may be received with application. Another part may be received with allotment. Another part may be received with first call. Okay. So in that case, wherever the premium is receivable, we will write the securities premium reserve over there. But if it is not mentioned in the question, we will assume that it is received with allotment. Now, debentures may also be issued at a discount. Like for example, 100 rupees debenture may be issued at a discount of 5%. So, now the company is receiving 5 rupees less. When the company is receiving 5 rupees less, that is a loss for the company. So any expense or loss, we know it is debit. So the discount on debentures will be debited. And the discount on debentures entry will always be made with the allotment entry. Okay, it is actually an amount not received. So the discount or the loss, that will be always written with the allotment entry. So let us consider a question pertaining to issue of debentures at a discount. A limited company issued 2000 10% debentures of rupees 100 each at a discount of 5% payable as follows. Rupees 30 on application, rupees 30 on allotment and the balance on call. So discount is 5 rupees, 5% of rupees 100, that means total the company should get on each debenture 95 rupees. So 30 rupees is receivable with application, 30 with allotment and therefore 60. So another 35 will be received on call. So here also I am assuming that the number of debentures issued by the company is equal to the number of shares debentures applied for by the public. So 2000. So bank account debit 2000 into 30, 60,000 is the application money. To 10% debentures application account 60,000. Then 10% debentures application account debit 60,000 to 10% debentures account 60,000. Then 10% debentures allotment account debit 2,000 into 30. And discount on issue of debentures account will be debited by 2,000 into 5. 5 rupees is the discount, which is the loss of the company. So that will be debited by 10,000, 2,000 into 5. To 10% debentures account, it will be 70,000. 60 plus 10,000, 70,000. But when the company receives the money, the company will receive 60,000 only. That loss, 10,000, which we debit to discount on debentures, that is only a loss for the company. It is an expense of the company, so it will be debited only. So next entry will be bank account debit 60,000 to 10% debentures allotment account 60,000. Then 10% debentures call account debit. Again I told you that in the call 35 rupees will be received. So 2,000 into 35, that will be 70,000. To 10% debentures account 70,000. I hope you understood how we got 35 rupees. 30 was received with application, 30 on allotment 60. So balance will be 95 minus 60, 35. Then bank account debit 70,000 to 10% debentures call account 70,000. Here also I am assuming that everybody is paying. We are receiving the entire call money. Now how will this be depicted in the balance sheet? Now if you look at the format of the balance sheet, so like here it will be balance sheet of A Limited as at, generally it will be 31st March of some year. So since I have not written any particular date, so I have put a few dots over there. So we make 4 columns. One is for particulars, the other is for note number, Then next one is for current year's balances, and the last column is for previous year's balances. Then note your number one, equity and liabilities. Shareholders, under that we have shareholders funds. Under shareholders funds, first we have share capital. Now here we did not have any share capital, so it is remaining blank. Then we have reserves and surplus. Note number one, here I have written 10,000 in brackets. From where did I get that 10,000? Actually that 10,000 is the discount. So discount on debentures account was debited by 10,000. Now that discount has to be transferred to statement of profit and loss. So the last entry will be statement of profit and loss account debit 10,000 to discount on debentures account 10,000. So the discount on debentures is debited to statement of profit and loss, and then statement of profit and loss will be showing a negative balance. It is a debit balance, so it is a negative balance. So that is why under reserves and surplus, note number one, I have written 10,000 in bracket. Then non-current liabilities. Under non-current liabilities, we have long-term borrowings. Long-term borrowings means the debentures account actually. So the total debentures account balance will be 2 lakh. 2,000 into 100, 2,000 debentures were issued, and each debenture is of 100 rupees. So long-term borrowings, note number 2, it will be 2 lakh. And number 2, we have assets. Under assets, we have current assets. Under that, we have cash and bank balances. Note number 3, 1,90,000. This is actually the bank balance that we have received. So if you add up all the bank balances, it should come to 1,90,000. Now we come to the notes to accounts. Notes to accounts, note number 1 was reserves and surplus. So under reserves and surplus, actually we have statement of profit and loss balance, that is minus 10,000. It is written in bracket. Then note number 2. Note number 2 was long-term borrowings. So under long-term borrowings, we have actually 10% debentures account, that is 2 lakh. So we had issued 2,000 debentures of 100 each, so that balance. And note number 3 was cash and bank balances. So note number 3, cash and bank balance is cash at bank 1,90,000. If you add all the bank accounts, it will come to 1,90,000. So this is how the debentures account and the bank account is shown in the balance sheet. First of all, we have the equity and liabilities in part 1, and in the second part we have the assets. Under equity and liabilities, under non-current liabilities, we have long-term borrowings. That shows you the debentures account balance. Under reserves and surplus, we have the balance in the statement of profit and loss, securities premium reserve account, all these things will come. And under current assets, we have cash and bank balances. Here the bank balance comes, the amount that we have actually received. Now, debentures may also be issued to promoters. Promoters are the persons who do all the work incidental to the formation of a company. For example, registration, entering into preliminary contracts, purchase of raw materials initially, all these things. So they are the persons who do all the work necessary for the formation of the company. So sometimes debentures are issued to these promoters for their services. So issue of debentures to promoters, the accounting entries will be incorporation costs account debit or formation expenses account debit to debentures account with the face value of debentures issued to them. Similarly, debentures may be also issued to underwriters. Who are underwriters? Underwriters are persons or a company or a partnership firm or a financial institution who do the work of underwriting of shares as well as debentures when a company issues shares or debentures. That means the number of shares which are not subscribed by the public, they will buy. So they get underwriting commission for undertaking that guarantee. They are doing the work of underwriting, so they should be given some commission. So when debentures are issued to them as underwriting commission, the accounting entries are underwriting commission account debit with the commission that should be allowed to them to underwriter's account. Then underwriter's account debit to debentures account with the value of debentures. Now here, debentures may be issued to them at a discount also, or it may be issued to them at a premium also. In that case, underwriter's account will be debited, discount on debentures account will be debited to debentures account, and if it is issued at a premium, then underwriter's account debit to debentures account to securities premium reserve account. Next, we come to issue of debentures to vendors. Vendors means the person from whom we are purchasing some assets. So, instead of paying them in cash, or we can pay partly to them in cash and the rest we may give debentures of the company. The entries will be sundry assets account debit with the purchase consideration of the assets, or the value which is assigned to the assets, or the value at which the assets are purchased to vendor's account. Then vendor's account debit, discount on debentures account debit if the debentures are issued at a discount to debentures account, and if the debentures are issued at a premium, then vendor's account debit, debentures account debit to securities premium reserve account. So these are the accounting entries that are passed when debentures are issued to promoters, when debentures are issued to underwriters, and when debentures are issued to vendors. Now remember, in the case of vendors, we have to look at the purchase consideration. So sundry assets account will be debited with the purchase consideration, or the value which has been decided of the assets which we are purchasing.